call to order the school committee meeting, October 10th, 2024. Would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Fisher?
Here.
Mr. Hess?
Here.
Mr. Castro?
Here.
Mr. Richards?
Yeah.
Mr. Serino?
Yeah. Thank you guys for coming. We'll start with the report of the school committee chair. As a committee, I just want to send our thoughts and prayers out to everyone dealing with the hurricanes that they just had down in the southeast. I'm sure many people in the district and many people around know someone or have loved ones that are affected by this. So we just want to send our thoughts and prayers out to them. Thank you. Another thing, and I sound like a broken record in this, and I bring it up all the time, but please stop dropping the students off on on-ramps, off-ramps, or Route 1. This is extremely dangerous. I don't know how to say it anymore. I think Mr. Richards.
I can't believe you have to say it. I can't believe you have to say it.
A note's going to go out. I've talked. I can't believe I'm saying this again.
Jesus.
I drive back from the gym sometimes in the morning, and I just, in my head, I can see what's going to happen. Because no one's paying attention when they're turning down that off-ramp or when they're coming off the on-ramp. And something's going to happen because it's extremely dangerous. Take the extra few minutes, take the student and drop them off at the right spot. Because I don't want to be sending condolences out. I'm sorry. But we really got to be cognizant of what's going on here. I know time's precious. Give yourself, Mr. Richards said it, give yourself more time in the morning. If you get up at 6, get up at 5:50.
You got an hour to drop off.
Yeah,
Oh.
so, again, please. Lastly, I want to invite everyone out this Saturday to the high school girls soccer game. It's at 6 p.m. at the stadium. It's a pink out. It's supporting breast cancer, and I think we have someone on the board is very near and dear to his heart, so I please encourage you guys to get out there.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, 3 years ago, excuse me, a month before my wife passed, the girls, they had this big night, and they made a sizable donation to the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. And again, it was almost a day to the year, a month, a day to the month that she passed after that. And but it meant the world to her. It meant the world to my son. It meant the world to my family. It's amazing that we have these youth football game, and it was just a stupid individual fight down there, and the news grabs it and runs with it and magnifies it 1,000 times. We see it all over the place in the paper, everywhere. And then we have these kids that are raising money for cancer. These girls on the soccer team tonight. The boys on the football team, the field hockey team. I'm missing one of them. Volleyball, yes, volleyball, another great one. They raise money. They help families out. They donate to the cause, and you never see anybody writing anything about that or any news coming down and talking about it. It's always but I just want everybody to know that these kids are just unbelievable, and it really does a lot. Especially now, my current wife, I'm sure she's going to kill me for saying this, but she's going through the same thing. She had breast cancer, and she's recovering, and she's doing well, and things look good. But again, it's just little things like this just really go a long way with the families that are affected. So I want to say thank you to all the girls, all the boys, everybody involved with this stuff. So thank you very much.
Thank you. So we'll move on to the report of the superintendent.
Okay, I just have a few things. I did want to mention that since our last meeting, we conducted the lockdown drills in each of the schools in conjunction with the police department. So they went fairly successful. We did find, little things that we have to work on and improve, which is why we do these drills every time. But the police came and coordinated with us, and we went through all the safety protocols. So it's good practice. Our goal is to do similarly to what the fire department does with fire drills quarterly, and do the lockdown drills quarterly as well. It's just, it's the world we live in today, so we're better off trying to figure out if there's any, flaws that we have to address, in a practice situation as opposed to any other situation.
Is this within coordination with the Alice training?
It's part of the Alice training, and it's coordinated with the police department. They come in and coordinate the walkthrough of the building during the drills, so. I also, as far as invitations goes, the SBC Trivia Night is next week at this time, so it's next Thursday night at 6 o'clock. Anybody who wants to participate, the profits go to the SBC, which sponsors some of the things like Shadow Day, and they're going to be sponsoring Student Government Day for us and the Unsung Hero. I did want to foreshadow a couple of things, and that's really what I have left. Our next meeting, which is October 24th, we're going to have the athletic director in to give us the fall recap, fall update. I mean, we'll be close to the end of most regular seasons, but it does look like some of our teams are going to go on to the postseason. And of course, the football team continues on until Thanksgiving. We're also going to have the enrichment coordinators come and present their success as session 1 is starting to wind down, and they'll go through the successes of session 1 and then talk a little bit about the upcoming session 2. And the following meeting after that, on November 14th, we're going to have the MCAS presentations from the building principals and building leadership. This one is just for the 5 of you and myself. On the next meeting on the 24th, the photographer will be here to do the yearbook photos. I will try to remember to send you a reminder that they're going to be photographing us before the meeting.
We should wear costumes, because it's right around,
It's
right
real close to
around
it.
Halloween.
Yep, it is, but I said I would remind you, I'll try to remember again. I probably won't remember, and they'll just come in and take the picture of me.
It's a waste of space anyway, they shouldn't even have to sit down. No.
That changes a lot, because the mustache was going to go, but now it's going to
No, okay, so, and the last thing is I want to invite everybody out there. We have a football game tonight at Sereno Stadium at 6:30 in a few minutes against Salem. I want to invite everybody there. The home opener was last school committee meeting. Unfortunately, that was a driving rainstorm that a lot of people braved, but I did want to invite everybody there because that's where I'm headed as soon as Mr. Sereno hits the gavel.
Excellent. So next, we have the report of the Saugus High School student representatives. I see 2 out there.
Nice.
You guys want to step up and state your names and class?
Good evening, and thank you for inviting us back to tonight's school committee meeting. I'm Hannah Dwong, the president, and this is Olivia, our class representative.
Hi everyone, we are so excited to share some updates about our class with you tonight. Our most upcoming fundraiser is Kowloon Canning tomorrow night from 5 to 9. Come stop by to see friendly faces and support everyone's favorite restaurant and class. Other upcoming events include selling Thanksgiving pies, a student-teacher volleyball tournament, and of course Color Day. We have started writing our script and can't wait to perform for everybody. If you have any questions or would like to help out with any of our events, you can always reach out to either of us, Olivia Chason and Hannah Duong. Now I'm going to turn it back to Hannah. She has a question for you guys.
My question was, we're trying to plan for our senior week, and we're just trying to figure out which bus company we're going to be using so we can estimate the cost of the bus.
That's a good question. That's, I'm glad you guys brought this up early, because I remember what happened last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah,
Now, the bus-
I'll check.
Buses for the prom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like other senior events too.
For senior week,
I would-
like maybe Six Flags or a sunset cruise in Boston. We're just trying to estimate the cost of everything,
So those would
including
be
buses.
probably 2 separate, different types of buses?
Yes,
Do you guys have an idea how many buses you'll need?
like 3.
For prom,
We'll
Three,
probably
maybe
have-
3 or 4 for prom, but for the other ones, the top is, maximum is 3.
Okay. Let's get on that right now.
Yeah, I'm going to try to find the names of the companies and, okay.
Senior
No
week
problem.
is early this year?
Ben.
Senior week is
They
later
don't
this
need that.
year.
Oh, later.
It's later this year,
How
yeah.
about we're graduating on the 6th or
June
5th, right?
1st
Okay.
to June 5th,
And then
right?
graduation is the 6th.
And
Graduation is the 6th?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep, we'll get that to you.
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming. We like the updates.
Yeah.
That volleyball game, when is it?
The, think that one or the senior night?
Senior, no, when you play, I thought you were playing the teachers.
Oh, the teachers, it's November 19th, right?
Yeah.
You guys gonna have medical on hand there?
Yeah,
For the
I want to
teachers?
see I want to see some spikes.
Yes, you guys can play too.
You're definitely gonna need some medical then.
Thank you guys very much. Moving on to new business, presentation on the status of the Belmonte, is it STEAM Academy?
STEAM Academy.
STEAM Academy. Dr. Lukey. Yeah. Hey, some people call it STEM. Or it's-
Liaisons.
Hello, good evening. Thank you for having us this evening. I have with me tonight, I have Mrs. Tracy Hurley, a third grade teacher at Belmonte STEAM Academy.
We love third grade teachers.
That's correct. We love them all too. But I wanted to give a little bit of an overview for Belmonte STEAM Academy. It's had a remarkable beginning here, transitioning since we started in the end of August. And as we approach midpoint here of term one, we're thrilled to report that students are actively engaged in learning and making significant progress across the board. And honestly, from day one, our goal has been to provide a well-rounded, high-quality education, to not only focus on the core academic pieces and subjects, but also to emphasize the importance of science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, as you can see in the word STEAM. And students are really fully immersed in these areas in the curriculum, and we're really fostering their creativity, really looking at the whole child, helping with their critical thinking skills, and really working hard to support the students as they go throughout the transitions. I don't know if somebody can turn the slides for me as we go there.
Where's the Mario?
Just
Just have to hit
space
the
bar.
arrow.
Oh, we're in trouble
Just
now.
hit that button.
There you go. As you can see, our theme for this year, and I had reviewed, is Belmonte STEAM going for the gold. We were kicking off from the Olympics from the summer, but really focusing on the word gold stands for give and get respect. We've been working with students at town meeting about that and awarding students that are really showing and demonstrating that good character of respect and owning their actions and realizing, like in the Olympics, we talked to the kids that there's going to be challenges. You're going to have failures. You're going to have obstacles, but your persistence to keep going and keep working towards your goal is what we really are working to support. And leading by example, we're really looking for leadership opportunities for students, and especially our fourth and fifth graders, who we tell these kids they're the role models of the schools. The second and third graders are really looking up to them, and we're creating lots of different opportunities for those students. You'll be hearing quite a bit about that. And then D is for determining their success. And that's really, it's up to them. We have the parent support, we have the teacher support, all the administrators, people in the school. We're all supporting them. It's a partnership. So that's been kind of our message to the kids in going for the gold. So they're doing their best every day in little baby steps, and sometimes it's 2 steps forwards, 3 steps back, but we're going to hang in there with them and not give up. And now we can go to the next slide. And I'm going to have Mrs. Hurley talk a little bit about, as a staff and as a community, one of the things last year when I started as principal was to really put together a strong leadership team. And one of my goals for this year is, I call it the Faculty Advisory Committee, which might be different than other principals, but I like to use this leadership team, and it's a group of teachers who completely volunteer. I probably have about 12 or 13 teachers that have volunteered. They come after school on their own time, and they support the initiatives, the ideas, all different things around the school, and we're looking to really hear all voices, the good, the bad, the ugly, and what we need to do to fix things, but really talk about what is happening. So I like it as kind of a sounding board as a principal, and I have my vice principals there as well, and we really work hard to kind of figure things out and problem solve together. So I'm going to have Mrs. Hurley talk about that just a little bit, and I want to let you know Mrs. Hurley has worked in Saugus before and then has come back, so I think she's seen a lot of different things happening. Go ahead.
Hello. So yes, I've absolutely seen so much positive change that it's super exciting just to come to work, in all honesty. So this leadership team is in an effort to build a cohesiveness between the staff members, the administration, and the children as well. What's so wonderful is about, like Dr. Lukey said, it's like a sounding board. So we can talk about, in full confidence, some of our successes, or some things we want to celebrate, and some things that perhaps we need to work on. But what's different is that it's actually being worked on. You know, it's a lot to say that, you know, this might be going wrong, let's fix that, but then it gets put on the back burner due to many variables. But we've seen such positive change, and the administration is really, really listening. And we need to feel completely supported. And again, it's that cohesiveness that we feel between each other. Just, we have 9 teachers per grade, which is an awful lot of teachers. So the step to make pods, which is a group of 3 teachers, and in each of the grade levels, so we are now little pods, so we are able to collaborate a little bit more on a more personal level, and then of course share our resources and share all our discussions and all of that. So it's a great opportunity for us not to feel so alone in the fact that there's 9 other teachers. So it's a great opportunity for all of us. We have such support. The administrators are in our classrooms. We see them all throughout the building. They come in, they talk to the kids about their weekend, about their day, and that all makes such a difference. Teamwork makes the dream work, and it literally has become such a group effort with everything that we're doing for the kids, for the teachers, for the administrators, for the school. So I'm so happy to be a part of it. Like Dr. Lukey said, I was laid off 2 years ago, unfortunately, due to budgetary cuts, but I'm back and very happy to be here, and just the difference in the feeling, the vibes that's within the teachers and the students, it's just very, very visible and very apparent. So it's an awesome place.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, and we can go to the next slide. So I have just some highlights, and we're just going to go through these slides fairly quickly, and we can always share this out as well, so you have this. But in our STEAM wing, I just wanted to show on Project Lead the Way has been a grant that we've put through in the school, and we have Trudy Williamson truly does an amazing job with these students. So in grades 2 and 3, we have something that's called Makerspace, but it's through this Project Lead the Way grant. And as you can see, and you can go to the next slide too, you can really see the hands-on things that they're doing. If you click the button to play, you can see this is our 4th and 5th graders, and it should click right on the button, the red button.
I don't think it's the touch
You just have to
screen,
use the cursor there. Sorry.
I think
John, you have to use the mouse. It's not a touch screen.
Yep. So just give a snapshot.
No.
Yep, so that's good, and you can go to the next slide. But, so you can see, one of the songs they were doing in the classroom, I actually videotaped that, it was Lean On Me. It's hard to hear in the video, but, yeah, you can just stop it and go to the next slide. And so they're working and they're interacting, they're in groups, they're collaborating. You can see Mrs. Williamson circulating, and they're engaged. This is the other grade 3 slide, doing some of the makerspace crafts. I was in the class watching them, and the excitement, you can just feel the excitement. You can keep going to the next. The other, in our STEAM wing, we have a new librarian this year who has really jumped in and helped with our media side of library as well as library. The kids are going in to the library on a schedule, selecting books, taking things out, and really kind of getting to know, where the strengths and weaknesses are of the kids, but tying it in with the media piece. They go to the STEAM wing. You can go to the next slide. And for example, they may be doing a book report, and then they make a PowerPoint of their book report, and then they present the book report. But they're, of course, going through the joy of reading, and then also just kind of learning some other sides to it, and that's that media literacy piece too. So we're working on that, and that's a work in progress already. Ms. Zepeda has been up to the high school to work with the librarian at the high school, and we have having her make connections with the Saugus Public Library too. So we're kind of working hard to bring that up and work together and collaborate to make that a really strong program. Keep going on that one. Wellness, we have Mr. Callahan and Mr. Bertrand, who they gave me some snapshots there, and if you see they're playing soccer and over by the softball field. They're here, they're in playing basketball, so all kinds of things going on. And then our wellness teachers also are following the second step curriculum for the social emotional learning, and they've collaborated with our counselors as well with that. So that's kind of been a whole piece that they've joined in. And the kids are always having fun every time you go in there, and again, teamwork and learning skills that are not necessarily always in the classroom, but for life in general, they're learning. You can keep going, thank you. Mr. Williams is our new music teacher that we've hired for this year. You can click on one of those red, you might be able to see some of his work there. So, yeah, and so it's just a snapshot to really see, the different things, the music. The music is helping their brain development, and there's research about how that helps with their math and their language arts and all the different things. So we encourage that as well. We can keep going to the next slide. That's the other. They're very active every time we go in. Yeah. So that was a folk dance they were learning, so keep going on that. Oops. Yeah, I know, it's hard to work. This is Miss Simo's, our art teacher. They were doing math with pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns, and you can see the creations. And they're so excited coming in and out of the classes in learning. So that's another great area, and that's the A in STEAM. Miss Panico, you can click on one of those to just get a snapshot for the music teacher.
That's how my mom used to wait for me after school when I was in trouble.
So you can see the different skills they're learning, just even listening and following directions. It's really amazing when you go in and see what's happening with these kids. Yep. And so, those are kind of like the STEAM classes that are going on. We also have an additional ELL teacher for English language learners. We have about 160 ELL students in our building, and they've really, contributed to our community in a really positive way. And I tell you how amazing our ELL teachers are, because they're in the classrooms, they're going around, and you can go to the next slide too. This is our newcomers program, and then we have, the second and third graders. This is just a slide for that, but they're going around to a fourth grade, a fifth grade. They're in there, they're always there helping and supporting, and they'll do small group work when they need it. But the kids are feeling comfortable and feeling they're part of this, the inclusivity of our environment at the school. So, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Goldfarb, we have Mrs. T helps us, and then Mrs. Jones, who was a second grade teacher, has been an addition to our ELL department, and we also have a new ELL tutor. So we've got resources to really build the program, and as we go along, you'll hear more and more from them, because we want to celebrate differences and really support them and help them feel comfortable on ELL. Special education is an amazing program. We have an additional sub-separate room this year, Ms. Montefusco. We're going into those classes and seeing the students working together and collaborating, and then also being included in their grade level classrooms as well. So they're improving every day, and without that support and our support staff, it wouldn't be possible for all of their success. We have adjustment counselors who are also working with students in our special education. They work with students who are on IEPs, and then they work with the students across the board in supporting students for counseling. I just want to mention our PlayWorks program. I'm not sure if you've heard too much about it. This is a brand new program here at the school, and we've had the support from Mr. Hashem and Ms. Turman to help us. We received a grant. We kind of fought for this a little bit because we have 200 kids out at recess. And it's a lot of children at one time running on the soccer field. And so we have stations now, we have zones for specific activities, but what it is once a month for a whole week, 4 days, 4 out of 5 days, we have somebody from the PlayWorks company that comes and helps train our noon aides that are out at recess. The assistant principals take turns going out there as well. I've been out there, and really, it's amazing what they're doing. Working with kids, playing games, having different presentations for them. They have new whistles, and so you'd be amazed at what a difference it makes. But so we're in the process of training that and really trying to cut down on any behaviors that can happen in unstructured times. But honestly, I even saw them on a rainy day in the auditorium you couldn't hear a pin drop because they had to be inside, and they were doing a fun activity with the kids. So this has been worth it, and we've been just using this as kind of a trial for this year. It is an SEL program because they're really taking all of the needs of the students into account. So that's been just something I wanted to mention, which goes to the next slide. The other piece that goes with this, I've worked with our vice principals and our counselors to collaborate. We have a brand new counselor this year who is not tied for students on IEPs, which frees her up a little for all students. And we use during the lunches her to help us with some restorative time. So if kids are having a hard time or having different struggles, we give them a break. They work with them. So between, the administration and the counselors, we're using this time as restorative to learn. They're going to make mistakes, things happen, and then we move forward. So if you hear them talk about, they had like a break time, or they talk to the counselor, we'll have them do a reflection sheet or just think sheet of how could you do that differently instead of putting your hands on somebody, or what's the thought process? Why are you so upset? And maybe you need more time, to talk to somebody. So we're really using that as a time to help and not punitive, really restorative and supportive. Counselors, they wanted me to make sure we put out there Tuesdays, once a month, they're having parent coffees in the library from 9 to 10. The next one's coming up, October 15th. They have a regular program, and they have different themes going on. We have something on homework tips, bullying, relationship building was our first one, and we actually had quite a few people come, so it was nice. They're really working hard to build that community in partnership with parents. And then second grade update, we'll go through these kind of quickly, but as you can see, the students have been working with their curriculum, Wit and Wisdom, and for language arts and Envision for math. They're really working on their writing, really, as you can see, hands-on. They're working in groups. You can see them collaborating together. And on the next slide, I'm going to have Mrs. Hurley talk about third grade.
So this is one of the Wit and Wisdom modules that the kids are working on in third grade, and it was entitled The C. So what it did is incorporate all kinds of critical thinking, problem solving, it took them where most kids don't go. So it taught them to look at the art and why would an artist pick the colors that they chose and all of that all ties in with the Wit and Wisdom program. So the story that they're working on currently is Jacques Cousteau, who I remember watching every Saturday morning, but I probably just dated myself. But it's an amazing thing. They are getting a look at something so deeply. They are engaged. They're doing some partner reading in the left-hand corner, and they're doing some peer discussions about what they've read to make sure that they're comprehending and using their skills and just working together and getting that comprehension piece really, teaching them how to find the main idea in the book and to find the evidence and the support that maybe topic sentence might need. So it's a great opportunity, giving them some background knowledge and taking into consideration what knowledge that they might have about the sea and what a scuba diver does and such. So it's been an awesome, awesome exploration for them.
Great. And as you can see, fourth grade, we have an update. They've been doing a lot on poetry. They're getting ready for their poetry slam. I've been going into the classes and watching a lot of the kids work on this and just taking turns going up in front of the class, practicing. They're loving it. So that's been a huge thing. Their positives, their efforts, and the teachers will say, they're really trying. And even if they're struggling, they're taking risks. I'm watching them as we walk around the classes. They're raising their hand. They're not afraid. They feel safe and supported, and that's huge because they're jumping in and they're being active learners. They're trying out their new science materials, and that's part of, during their science block, they do go over to Project Lead the Way. Mrs. Williamson oversees that to really get some of those hands-on projects. They go, and we have an actual schedule for 2 days. They're over there during science, and they come back and they work more on science, and they do social studies as well, along with the math and language arts. So it's you can kind of see the whole picture within the curriculum that they are working. And then fifth grade, which are definitely our role model students here for, getting ready and leadership things. One of the things with Playworks I didn't mention is the people are coming to help train some of our fifth graders to be our student leaders out at recess. So that's going to be a big activity for them, but really supporting them and working them. They're working with them with the math and the language arts. They also get the Project Lead the Way time, and they're just really working hard and knowing that it's their last year in the school, and they're really shining. I'm watching some of the teachers are putting together a study buddies, so the fifth graders with second graders, and they'll have time to work on things together. So that's in progress right now too. And then really this is like kind of the last thing I want to talk about is in process right now, and this has been going on actually with the support of Mr. Hashem. Last year in April we started working on taking a closer look at the report card and really looking at what needs to be changed. And one of the things that we've been working on is a standards-based report card. And you'll hear from the committee because we're going to have the report card approved by school committee, and we've been taking consensus of our staff. It is a change, but it's really looking at different ways kids can meet with success. and supporting them so that their skills are aligned to the mass standards, but they're assessed in a way in that your progress is towards meeting these standards and then receiving, instead of the numeric grade, it's going to be you're meeting with the success, you're not yet, but there's still time kind of thing. So it's going to be looking at where their strengths are, identifying their strengths, and where are the areas of growth. So it's going to, sometimes not as your typical A, B, C or number grades, it's going to give you more detailed information about where the kids are falling. So we always associate, there's a little video with somebody riding a bike. When you're learning to ride a bike, you start with, the training wheels, and then you get a little better, and then it's hard, it might take a little while before you take the training wheels off, and then you give them another chance. So we kind of say it's a work in progress. And for the new report card, and you'll hear a lot more from our committee, and they've worked all summer, they worked all the end of last year, and they've been working here in the fall. They're going to explain about how this is be in the best interest of supporting kids and helping them feel that sense of ownership with their grades. So that's more to come on that. And I just want to say that all of this at Belmonte and with Mrs. Hurley here tonight too, the support of the teachers and their incredible teamwork, the daily work, challenges and leading a building like Belmonte, it takes a lot of courage and determination to get through every day because there are ups and downs, but without these teachers, working with parents, supporting parents, in the broader community, within all of the families, we couldn't do it. So we see it every day. They're working together, and like Mrs. Hurley said, I think in having that leadership team, our faculty advisory, they're starting to feel the positive changes. And it's slow, and like I said, sometimes we do a couple things and then we have to take a couple steps back, but we look and we listen. And I think that's it with my administration, with Mrs. DePisa and Ms. Jimenez, our new assistant principal, that it's really been an amazing process watching this year because we're really working to support and help each other. So that's kind of where we're at, and that's the Belmonte STEAM Academy update.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Any questions?
I just got one question. It's back a few slides. Was it the newcomers program or the?
Yes.
So is that new?
We had it last year. It was a little bit smaller. But now we're kind of like focusing. We have one teacher specifically who works on that program. So it really helps the brand new students coming in from the country to really feel comfortable, and she will assess and reassess to see where they're at. Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Yes,
So-
but we did have it last year as well, so
Okay,
it's
awesome.
growing.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you guys both, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Next, we're going to move on to the approval of school committee meeting minutes for September 26, 2024.
Motion to approve?
Chair seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Move on to the approval of school committee minutes, meeting minutes for October 3rd, 2024. Open
Motion.
session.
You weren't here for that, right? You were for that one?
I was out for that.
Okay.
Motion to approve?
I'll second. You can still do that.
Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Approval of bills dated October 10th, 2024, in the amount of $2,265,287.68.
Motion to approve?
Chair seconds, can we do a roll?
Mr. Fisher?
Yes.
Mr. Hatch?
Yes.
Mrs. Mastrocola?
Yes.
Mr. Whitford? Mr. Sereno?
Actually, a no, because I didn't get a chance to read through them, so I'm just going to put no for me.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. Moving on to public comment.
Hi, Kevin Fontanella, SCA President. I just wanted to thank the committee for giving me the opportunity to talk about this issue. So I think a lot of people know that we have a presidential election coming up, but we also have a state election, and there's a referendum question that concerns public education in the state, but also our town. And that's question 2, which would replace the MCAS graduation requirement. I just want to make clear, there's a lot of misinformation about this. This would not eliminate the MCAS at all. It would eliminate the high school graduation requirement, which means that students would get a diploma. They would still get a high school diploma if they failed the English MCAS or the math MCAS or the science MCAS. For parents or citizens that are concerned that they would not get the data that the kids would receive from 3rd grade through 10th grade, their students would still be taking the MCAS, and the test would not change at all. So you'd still be able to know if your kid was struggling in math in 4th grade or was struggling in English in 6th grade. They still would be, get that information. One reason why this is an important initiative for the SEA and our parent organization, the MTA, is students with disabilities have historically, been hurt by this, and our growing population of EL learners have definitely also been hurt. I can testify, not that I teach an MCAS subject, I'm a history teacher, but I can testify to the fact that I have a ton of EL students who are we're just working on getting them to read, basic texts. And that is very challenging for them. So I think that there are definitely certain subsets that are affected by this. I just gave you paperwork, and I just want you to read through it the next few weeks, and just want the school committee to think about this and think about possibly supporting it. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. As always, if you have interest in it, do your own research. So, anyone else? Just state your name and, yeah.
Hi, my name's Lori Flossie, Saugus resident, and I'm a parent. I have someone at Saugus High School, Saugus Middle School, and the Belmonte. I also used to teach at Belmonte, not there this year. So, and I didn't know that we were doing the Belmonte presentation, but because I'm super involved in Saugus as part of PTO and just parents and community and things like that, today I received some outreach from the community about at Belmonte, due to sub shortages, that kids were placed in the library and the auditorium, multiple classes, and overseen by one grown-up. And I just find, I know that like sometimes things happen, right? I'm in public education, I get it. But I feel like that can't be a solution that we do again. It's not equitable, it's inappropriate, I feel, or there has to be something better. Sub-shortage, not sub-shortage. And that's what I just wanted to come and comment on it, so it's out there for a conversation. There's probably a couple other few issues at Belmonte that I hear about. And I love Belmonte. I mean, I don't want to negate anything that was good that came from this presentation at all today. If I had, timing is always a funny little thing. I think I hear a lot from the community about being frustrated with communication from Belmonte. Sometimes there's information that's not entirely clear in the emails, or misinformation or typos, and I'm guilty of it too. But it seems to be something that maybe we could help clear up. And I haven't had a chance to talk to Maureen about it yet. I work till about, I don't get back in Saugus now in the new district till about 4:30. And then pick up my kids and do it. I'm in grad school and all sorts of other things. So I haven't had the time, but today seemed like a fire, and there was a school committee meeting, and I didn't want it to wait, which is why I'm here now. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. But those were the two big things that I've kind of been hearing and waiting to address, but I just didn't want to miss the opportunity to kind of like put it out there in the air and see what we can do about it.
So I would suggest that you meet with Dr. Lukey and maybe Mr. Hashem and figure it out from there, because I hear a lot of things. I don't know how much of it's true. So I think you need to talk.
Absolutely, and that's on the agenda, absolutely.
So no, I just want to make sure that your concerns are addressed and we do the right thing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lori.
Carly Clifford. I am a parent to 2 children in the public, Saugus Public Schools. I actually have 2 older children, but they do not go to the Saugus Public Schools at this time, and that's, due to history. My daughter, I was coming up to speak on behalf of the situation with substitute teachers. I just heard about this probably because, again, I have 4 children. I'm running around everywhere. So I do find it very important that as far as the substitute teachers, I'm a little bit on the other hand. I have a child that's on an IEP who has in the past had the para pulled for substitute teachers, which is not acceptable. She missed over 3,700 minutes last year of in-class support in the district.
Can I just stop you there?
Yeah.
We don't want to get into specifics.
No, that's okay.
so-
I don't need to get into specifics. I
Okay.
just want to make it known that it is an ongoing problem on both sides. It's not fair to my child, who is entitled to an IEP, and it's not fair to the other children that are not. So I just want to make sure that everyone knows it's an issue. And, it's hard when you fight and you get what you need, and then you see the other side. So I'm just here to defend both sides.
No, and we appreciate it because truthfully, the 5 of us sitting up here, we don't know, right? I think some of us know the situation.
Mr. Chairman, can I speak on this one? I
Yeah.
know I'm not supposed to speak on it, but my understanding was that that situation was
My
handled this year.
situation's resolved, but now the
No,
situation.
not just with you. I mean, with the paras being taken out of from the one-on-ones and being put in the classrooms. I thought that whole situation was resolved.
That is resolved. But
Okay.
because of that, the other children are now affected.
Okay, I see
So
what you're
now
saying. I'm
it's
sorry. I thought you
the
meant
regular
still
ed
doing it.
children are now being put into auditoriums and cafeteria in the grades 2 through 5, which again is not acceptable. And I don't need on the other side to see that my child got what she needed and not the children. So that's why I'm here for both sides.
I apologize. I thought you meant
Yeah.
the para situation was still going on.
Just solving one side of the problem, and just because I was able to fight and get what I needed for my daughter, doesn't make it right for the other children, and that's why I'm here.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so and I'll tell you this, it's not a Saugus problem.
I agree.
It's not.
Still got to find a solution, though.
you
But
know.
we need to
Right.
find a solution, because
absolutely.
it's not the kids' fault. It's not their fault
Okay.
that they need to miss out on education.
Yeah.
I understand it's a statewide problem. But again, as educators, as parents, and as school committee, we need to find a solution to help our children. So that's why I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you. Did you want to give Braden a shout-out for quarterback?
Anyone else? Having none?
Get a motion to adjourn, sir?
Chair seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
And I will not forget.
Thank you.